Hi, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 5 mistakes that are keeping you single. These are the 5 most common things I see women doing in the early stages of dating and getting to know a guy that are ruining their chances at having the relationship that they truly deserve and that they're truly worthy of. And we're going to be going through these in order from the very beginning of putting yourself out there through the early stages of a relationship. So let's dive into it. The first mistake that's keeping women single is they expect a relationship to just drop into their life without putting out any time or effort or energy. Let me be clear, right? Manifestation is real. Manifestation is real. Like you can manifest an incredible partner, but what that manifestation requires is for you to do your work. And there are 2 types of work that get to be done in order for you to have the relationship that you want. The first type of work is the inner work, right? It is becoming the best version of yourself. It is having a clear, powerful vision for the type of relationship that you truly want. If you're not willing to put in the effort to become the best version of yourself, you're not going to attract in your best possible relationship, right? Because every relationship you have with someone else is inevitably a mirror for who you are, who you're being, all right? And if you do not have clarity around the type of relationship that you want, a great vision for it, then you're not going to be able to call it in either, right? Those 2 components of the inner work are extremely important. And the other phase, right, of doing this work is the outer work, and that is putting yourself out there. That is constructing an awesome dating profile and fostering connections with guys, right? It is going out with friends to social events. It is going to bars. It is going to mixers. It is going to places where there are people that, have shared interests with you and being open to connection. The important phrase that I want you to come back to, right, when it comes to putting yourself out there is, am I demonstrating that I'm open to connection? And am I going out there with a real intention to connect with men, right? If you go onto an online dating app, but you're not really intentional about connecting with and fostering connections with men and talking with them and inviting them forward into dating and stuff, then guess what? It's never going to happen. You cannot have the relationship that you want by staying and being who you are, sitting on the couch and expecting Mr. Right to just break into your house and come track you down, right? It's not the way that it works. Right? Now, the second mistake that so many women make is leaning back so far. It's leaning back too far. And I understand there's a large portion of the dating community out there that, preaches leaning back as a tool to get a man to chase you, right? But here's the thing. Do we really want dating to become this calculated, manipulative process, right? Because if you're leaning back like super far just to sort of like entice a man or to manipulate a man into chasing after you, then you've turned dating into like a shallow sort of manipulative process, right? Now, I'm not saying that you can't lean back and invite a man to come forward, right? But don't lean back so far that he doesn't think you're interested. Don't lean back so far that, it starts to show up as calculated on his end. Because if you do that, if he gets the vibe that you're playing games with him, then he's either going to walk away or he's going to play games back. And neither of those are setting the foundation for the relationship that you really want. Am I right? I know I'm right. Now, the third mistake I see so many women make, this is when they're starting to go out with guys, right, is putting the pressure on themselves that every guy has to be their soulmate. It's either the one or nothing, right? When you put that sort of pressure on your dating life and every person that you're dating has to meet this huge standard, this huge bar of being your life partner, it creates a lot of pressure, and it sort of turns a date into an audition, right? Where you're just sort of like evaluating them to see if they fit your box of the type of person you want to spend your life with. And when you do that, it turns the date into a baby daddy audition, and it kills the organic dance of getting to know somebody, right? So I invite you to leave your expectations and leave this soulmate standard at the door, and instead just choose to see whoever's across from you as a person and to see if you enjoy spending time with them. Just take the pressure off and just make a choice that you're going to have a good time and see where things go. Okay. Now, the fourth way that I see so many women ending a relationship before it begins is by sabotaging through projection. Now, this is a big one, right? What is projection? Projection is where we take a past trauma, right, that we've experienced in a past relationship, and we project it like a movie projector onto the current person that we're experiencing, right? So maybe an example would be a guy gives you a compliment and says, oh, you have beautiful eyes, right? And you get triggered because your last boyfriend who cheated on you would always say that you have beautiful eyes. And so all of a sudden you're in the feelings of that betrayal and that pain that you went through with your ex, and you start being aggressive or projecting onto him and seeing him as that person. And trust me, I have been projected upon by multiple past partners that I've had in my life, several times over my life, and it is very painful and emotionally brutal as a guy to have a woman looking at you and not seeing you. To have a woman looking at you and you're seeing the pain that a past person caused her, and she's throwing that at you. And trust me, that is going to make a man not feel safe at all. And the biggest thing that you're looking to cultivate with the masculine, if you want him to put down his walls and be open to an emotionally fulfilling relationship with you, is emotional safety. So recognize that, so it's important to check in with yourself, right? And ask yourself if you're feeling yourself being triggered by a guy that you recently knew and getting to know. And ask yourself, am I really triggered by this man's behavior, or is this trigger a past projection from a past partner, right? Because every partner, both you and the person that you're talking to, the person that you're connecting with, you both have a right to be seen and experienced for who you are, right? We can't let our past trauma and our past experiences sabotage and be weaponized against the person that we're looking to get to know. Are you with me? Okay. Good. Now, the fifth mistake that may be keeping you single is defaulting into masculine energy. And this can happen for a lot of reasons, right? A lot of times in conflict, right? If there's a conflict going on between you and your partner, a lot of times women will default into masculine energy so that they can win the conflict or the confrontation. So that might be being very aggressive and forceful and trying to take control of the conflict and push a man into a resolution that's in your best interest, right? Rather than staying in your feminine and vulnerably expressing from your heart, hey, this is why this isn't working for me, and I'm not willing to be in that space with you, right? Or just because maybe you feel a guy checking out a little bit, or you're starting to get to know him and you're just comfortable being in your masculine, you're comfortable being in control, you're comfortable telling a guy what to do, maybe because that's what you do at work or that's what you've done in past relationships. And so you might tell him how to drive to a restaurant that you guys are going to on a date. You try to control him, you micromanage him, you're highly critical of him in sort of a controlling way. If you start embodying that masculine energy just because it's comfortable for you, trust me, it will depolarize the connection with this guy and he will check out. He will disconnect and the relationship will never have a chance to be what it could be, right? It's important throughout the connection that you have with a partner that you allow yourself to be in your feminine, that you allow yourself to be vulnerable, open, playful, sensual, a loving interruption to his, heaviness of his life. And that you let him be the masculine partner within the relational container. If you want to have polarity with someone in a relationship, it is absolutely essential that you do that. So I hope that these 5 common mistakes are going to support you and serve you in having better, more fulfilling, more dynamic connections and relationships with men. And if you resonated with this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click that link in the comments and caption, because I've created some awesome training that's going to make a huge difference in your connections and relationships with men. And sound off in the comments. Let me know in the comments, right? What are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made in the past with your partners, or that you've seen other women in your life make? I love to hear your own personal experiences. They make such a difference, and it's always fascinating. It helps me learn a lot, right, as a coach. And be sure to tune into this next video. This next video is called be unforgettable to him. And this is all about helping you step up and into your high value divine feminine energy so that you can be truly unforgettable to a high value man that you're looking to get to know. So I hope you enjoy that video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. And I'm really looking forward to digging into this topic, some simple steps you can take to be unforgettable to high value men. I use these with my clients and with my students every day, and we are going to dive into it.